Welcome to this pre-recorded presentation of the Texas Department of Transportation Houston District's Interstate Highway 45 Galveston Improvement Project. My name is Celeste Weibel, and I would like to welcome you and thank you for participating in this virtual public meeting. I'm an environmental consultant working for the TxDOT Houston District. The project we are discussing today is the I-45 Galveston Improvement Project. The proposed project would reconstruct and widen I-45 from the Galveston Causeway Bridge to 61st Street in Galveston County, Texas. This presentation is available for viewing starting on Tuesday, August 11th, 2020. In this presentation, we will describe the proposed project, present an overview of the environmental review process, discuss the project schedule, and the methods for submitting comments on the project. TxDOT originally scheduled an in-person public meeting for this project to take place on April 2nd, 2020. However, given the unique circumstance of the COVID-19 outbreak, along with the department's commitment to protecting public health during this national emergency, the department canceled the in-person meeting and is moving forward with this virtual public meeting to avoid in-person contact. This presentation and the other materials posted on the project website cover the same information the Houston District would have shared at an in-person public meeting. The comment process, however, will be different and will be explained shortly. Project information can be found on the TxDOT website at txdot.gov. In the Search TxDOT box in the upper right-hand corner of the web page, enter I-45 South. The I-45 Galveston Improvement Project is federally and state funded. Due to the project receiving federal funds, TxDOT is required to take a hard look at the potential environmental impacts of the proposed project. The process that is followed to identify and evaluate potential environmental impacts is based on the National Environmental Policy Act, otherwise known as NEPA. The NEPA process provides decision makers with information to help guide their decision on whether to proceed with the project. On December 9, 2019, TxDOT received a signed Memorandum of Understanding from the Federal Highway Administration that permits TxDOT to assume responsibility from the Federal Highway Administration for reviewing and approving certain assigned NEPA projects. The review and approval process just described applies to this project. This virtual public meeting was developed to provide project information to the public and elected officials. TxDOT encourages you to review the materials posted on the project website and to provide comments on the proposed project. Notices for this meeting were published in English in the Galveston Daily News on Monday, July 27, 2020. Notices in both English and Spanish were posted on the TxDOT website and mailed to adjacent property owners and elected public officials. Additional outreach for this virtual public meeting, including posting notices at the Rosenberg Library, the Island Community Center, local grocery stores, and social media, including Facebook and Twitter. Notices advertising the virtual public meeting were emailed to the Galveston Chamber of Commerce and local churches that offer services in English and Spanish. Why is this proposed project needed? As you can see in this slide, traffic predictions indicate congestion will increase along I-45 from the Causeway Bridge to 61st Street. Currently, approximately 76,000 vehicles a day travel through the project area. By 2045, this number is expected to increase to approximately 111,000 vehicles a day. The purpose of the proposed project is to improve mobility and reduce congestion by constructing additional lanes, ramps, and turn lanes. Improve traffic operations by bringing the roadway up to current design standards. Facilitate bicycle and pedestrian activity by upgrading bicycle and pedestrian accommodations. And to facilitate hurricane evacuation by providing additional lanes. The I-45 proposed improvements include reconstructing the main lanes to add one additional main lane in each direction for a total of 8 main lanes, 4 in each direction. Reconstructing the frontage roads to add frontage road lanes in select locations for an average of 2 11-foot wide travel lanes in each direction with auxiliary lanes. Adding a 5-foot wide bike path along the frontage roads behind the curb. Adding a 5-foot sidewalk along the frontage roads adjacent to the bike path. and reconstructing the existing stormwater collection system. The I-45 proposed improvements would also reconstruct the I-45 overpasses and add intersections improvements, including U-turn and turning lanes at the Harborside Drive, 71st Street, and 61st Street intersections, and construct a one-lane direct connector from northbound 61st Street to northbound I-45. The proposed improvements were designed to minimize impacts to the natural or man-made resources, while still meeting project goals. The schematic exhibits are located on the I-45 South Galveston meeting page on TxDOT.gov. Information on how to access the meeting page on TxDOT.gov will be provided at the end of the presentation. Next, we will walk through the existing and proposed typical sections, how to read the schematics, and highlight 3 major areas of the schematics. The existing typical section, that is the existing roadway design, is a 6-lane freeway with 3 12-foot lanes in each direction, 10-foot inside shoulders, and 12-foot outside shoulders. The frontage road varies from 2 to 3 12-foot lanes in each direction with curb, gutter, and storm sewer. There are no pedestrian or bicycle facilities along this portion of I-45. The existing right-of-way ranges from 216 to 400 feet wide. 2 different typical sections are proposed for the project. The first proposed typical section is from the Galveston Causeway Bridge to 71st Street. The proposed design in this section includes an 8-lane freeway with 4 12-foot lanes in each direction, 6-foot inside shoulders, and 12-foot outside shoulders. The frontage road varies from 2 to 3 11-foot lanes in each direction with curb, gutter, and storm sewer. A 5-foot bike path and a 5-foot sidewalk are proposed in each direction on the outside of the frontage roads. The proposed right-of-way for this section ranges from 250 to 415 feet wide. The second proposed typical section is from 71st Street to 61st Street and includes a 6-lane freeway with 3 12-foot lanes in each direction, 6-foot inside shoulders, and 12-foot outside shoulders. The frontage road varies between 2 and 4 11-foot lanes with curb, gutter, and storm sewer, with a 5-foot bike path and a 5-foot sidewalk in each direction. The proposed right-of-way in this section ranges from 250 feet to 300 feet wide. The main lanes are reduced from 8 lanes in the previous section to 6 lanes in this section. Here is a screenshot of the legend for the schematics that you can find on the website. The legend is included on each page of the schematic so you can reference it during your review. The screenshot on the left shows the various types of lines that you will see. Of particular note are the black lines that outline the main lanes, the blue lines that outline frontage roads, the thin black dashed lines that indicate existing right-of-way, and lastly, the thick black dashed lines that indicate proposed right-of-way. The screenshot on the right shows the colors that fill the proposed design. These colors identify the limits and major aspects of the project. Let's walk through them. The yellow color identifies the main travel lanes on I-45. The frontage roads are identified in light gray. In between the main lanes and frontage road lanes will be areas of blue, which are the entrance and exit ramps. Lastly, areas in dark orange color identify bridges, and small areas of dark gray are raised medians. Here is a detailed look at a portion of the schematic or design drawing of the project. This slide shows I-45 at the intersection with Harborside Drive and the proposed typical section of I-45 at Harborside Drive. The intersection at ground level as well as the overpass would be rebuilt. The blue lines and gray coloring on the plan identify the frontage roads in Harborside Drive. U-turns would be added to the intersection along with left turn lanes along the frontage roads. The typical section for this area is in the upper right corner of the slide. Notice that there is a slope on the elevated main lanes. In this view, the scale is exaggerated, but note there will be a consistent cross slope due to the curvature at I-45 at this location. We evaluated this intersection during the early stages of this project to help determine how many lanes were needed. Detailed traffic signal timing would be completed during final design. TxDOT worked closely with the City of Galveston during the early stages of the project to help determine how many lanes were needed here and to ensure that the new design could accommodate heavy trucks known to frequent this intersection. Here is a detailed look of the schematic at 71st Street. The overpass at 71st Street would be rebuilt, as well as the intersection at ground level. The rebuilt intersection would include U-turn lanes. Just like at Harborside Drive, each of the major intersections in this project were evaluated during the early stages of this project to help determine how many lanes were needed. Detailed traffic signal timing would be completed during final design. Here's a detailed look of the schematic at 61st Street. The overpass at 61st Street would be rebuilt, as well as the intersection at ground level. In addition to ground level intersection improvements, in the lower half of the screen, you can see a travel lane in orange. This is called a direct connector. Vehicles would travel on an elevated lane over 61st Street and the frontage road straight onto I-45 northbound. This would allow vehicles to access I-45 northbound without stopping. This lane would also facilitate emergency evacuations. Now look at the lower right-hand portion of the slide. Currently, there is a bypass located there where vehicles can travel from northbound 61st Street and connect to Broadway, avoiding the intersection. This is shown on the slide in a black hatched pattern. Due to the high number of crashes occurring at this merge point with Broadway, we propose to eliminate the bypass and add a right turn lane at the intersection. Although the project proposes to add a direct connector off of 61st Street and remove the right turn bypass, the total number of lanes on 61st Street would not be reduced. These changes are proposed to improve the safety and operations of this intersection. This slide shows a tentative diagram of where the City of Galveston, TxDOT, and potential private property owners would install a dedicated pedestrian and bicycle route to provide continuous access around the I-45 and 61st Street area. The pink line is where TxDOT would include a bicycle path and a sidewalk as part of the proposed improvements adjacent to the frontage roads. The green dotted lines show potential pedestrian and bicycle routes that would be constructed by the city or private property owners, extending down 63rd Street to Avenue J. This project follows TxDOT and federal guidelines for providing pedestrian and bicycle facilities. TxDOT has been working with the City of Galveston and adjacent property owners to determine how best to fit bicycle and pedestrian facilities through the already developed area of 61st Street while minimizing impacts. The location of bicycle and pedestrian routes in the 61st Street area remain tentative. The project team is in the process of identifying and evaluating potential environmental impacts of the proposed project. Areas being reviewed include community impacts, cultural resources, biological resources, including threatened and endangered species, water resources, hazardous materials, and traffic noise. The traffic noise analysis will be conducted in accordance with state and federal guidelines to determine if the project would result in traffic noise impacts. If there is a traffic noise impact, noise barriers would be analyzed to determine if they are reasonable and feasible. If noise barriers are proposed for the project, a noise workshop would be held for property owners adjacent to any proposed noise barriers. Approximately 2.8 acres of additional right-of-way would be required for the proposed project, and it would potentially displace 3 commercial structures. No residential displacements are anticipated. TxDOT offers relocation counseling and financial assistance to residences and businesses that are displaced by the acquisition of right-of-way in accordance with the Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Policies Act of 1970. TxDOT would provide assistance to potentially displaced businesses to aid in their satisfactory relocation with minimum delay. The 3 potentially displaced commercial structures are shown on this figure and include National Tire Battery, Texaco, and a strip center with 1 tenant. Potential displacements would be confirmed during final design. Information about the TxDOT Relocation Assistance Program concerning services and benefits for displaced persons and businesses can be found on the TxDOT website at https://www.texdot.gov/government/processes-procedures /rightaway.html. For questions regarding the right-of-way acquisition process, please contact Nina Calvin at 713-802-5696 or at nina.calvin@TxDOT.gov. We want to also highlight the estimated project timeline. Look for the green "We Are Here" arrow at the top of the slide, which indicates where we are in the project development process. The virtual public meeting and the environmental studies phase is in progress. When the environmental studies and documentation are complete, they will be evaluated and an environmental clearance decision will be made. Provided the environmental process is approved, the project would move into detailed design and right-of-way acquisition in the winter of 2020 to 2021. If the project is environmentally cleared, construction is programmed to begin in 2022. Construction is anticipated to be complete in 3 to 4 years. TxDOT encourages you to provide written comments on the materials you've seen tonight. Given our current COVID-19 situation, the Houston District is asking the public to provide their comments in the following ways. 1. Email your comments to hou-pio webmail@TxDOT.gov. 2. Mail your comments to Director of Project Development, Texas Department of Transportation, P.O. Box 1386, Houston, Texas 77251-1386, or submit your comments online by accessing www.TxDOT.gov. In the Search TxDOT box in the upper right-hand corner of the webpage, enter I-45 South. Then click on the email button at the bottom of the page. The comment form may also be downloaded from the virtual public meeting webpage. Most importantly, please be sure to submit your comments no later than midnight on Wednesday, August 26, 2020, which is 15 days after the presentation was posted on the meeting webpage. Responses to your comments submitted during the comment period will be included in the documentation of the virtual public meeting. This documentation will be posted to the meeting webpage in approximately 3 months. There are various ways to stay informed about the project. First, you can sign up to receive emailed updates. Visit www.TxDOT.gov and in the upper right-hand corner, enter I-45 South in the search box. Click on the project page and then click on the upper right-hand button called Subscribe to Updates. When there's a project update, an email will be sent to you. We also invite you to view the various project materials on TxDOT.gov. The meeting webpage includes all materials presented tonight, including this presentation, exhibit boards, a fact sheet, the proposed schematic, and a comment card. Secondly, don't hesitate to contact us with any questions. Please feel free to contact Amanda Austin at the Houston District Office at 713-802-5270 or Jamal Alahi at the Galveston Area Office at 409-978-2500 during normal business hours with any questions or comments about the project. For questions regarding the right-of-way acquisition process, please contact Nina Calvin at 713-802-5696 or at nina.calvin@TxDOT.gov. Please note that you can contact TxDOT at any time during the project development process to ask questions about the project. In addition, don't forget to click on these links and follow us on Twitter for ongoing road closures and construction updates on the Houston District Twitter page. You can also keep up with the TxDOT news on our Facebook page. Thank you for participating in this virtual public meeting, and please do not forget to submit your comments by Wednesday, August 26, 2020. Thank you again, and please stay safe.